Hey everyone, this is my approach on this how to create a roadmap of the modes on the guitar. I don't know if this is taught in general or if it's an orthodox and unorthodox way. If you know of another person that is teaching this that way, please comment below. If you don't, then it's mine. I shotgun. Now, I'll just be fast about it because I tried another video and it's like an hour long and I was bored myself. Okay, first thing you want to know, interval. Interval is the distance between two notes. The smallest interval that we can play on a fretted instrument or a keyboard instrument, especially on a fretted instrument without bending from one fret to the next, that interval is called a semitone. You need 2 points in space to define the distance in between. The distance between two walls, from that wall to the other, is like 3 meters. I need 2 points. So my 2 points on the fretboard are the 2 notes. Okay, this is a semitone. 2 of these from one fret to the not the next, to the next of the next is a tone. This is what we're going to need for the major scale because it only has semitones and a tone. That was number 1. 2. The recipe for the major scale is 2 tones and a semitone, 3 tones and a semitone. Alright, so you start off any note that you want, G for instance, and you say G and a tone, this note here, A, and a tone, these are the two tones. I was about to say 2 notes. So it's 2 tones, a semitone, a tone, a tone, a tone, 3 tones, and a semitone. So I start off with G, 2 tones, a semitone, 3 tones and a semitone. That's the recipe for the major scale. You can create any major scale that you can imagine just by starting off of the desired note that you want to create the specific scale, A sharp, I don't know, choose one, and then you apply this recipe of tones and semitones, that is 2 tones and a semitone, 3 tones and a semitone, 2 tones and a semitone, 3 tones and a semitone. We have semitones in between. So it's really simple. I'm playing it linearly, that's point number 3, so I can analyze in a 3-note fashion what shapes I create while playing that. I mean, if I played with one finger, I don't really create any shapes. If I played with 2 notes, I pretty much have 2 shapes I cannot really work with. They're not really that special on their own, you know, that not really very special. But if I choose 3 notes, then I can create 3 unique shapes. They are first shape is, I'm just pulling that finger below, it's the first 2-tone shape. I call it TT, from tone and tone, T and T, from the English letter T, TT, pun intended. And then the second shape is a tone and a semitone, a TS. Think of a TS, Telecaster. That's nice, Telecaster. Tone and semitone. So the first is a TT, think of what you like, and the second is a TS, Telecaster, and the third is an ST. Think of a Stratocaster. Okay, so it's TT, Telecaster, Stratocaster, TT, TS, ST. These are the 3 distinct shapes that come out if I play the scale linearly, that is on one string, and the same shapes repeat. So it's TT, TS, ST, TT, TT, TS, until I reach my octave, which is another G here. That was 3rd step. yeah, first interval, second the recipe for the major scale, third is the linear approach. Now, a mode is the more complicated way to think about chords, which is, modes, which is the correct way, is that they need to have the appropriate harmony behind them to support them. If you have the appropriate harmony behind them, then all the notes, if you know in which scale you are, then if you play that scale, all the notes will just fall into that, and the appropriate notes will be played. So if I want to have I don't know, a Phrygian thing, I just played something that sounds like Phrygian, but if I do this, it sounds more like the Phrygian thing. And if I was to play something on that, then, you know, if I'm in A Phrygian, then I'm in a an F, major. So if I play the notes of the F major over that, that would actually guide me to the correct notes. But that is a bit more advanced part, knowing the harmony that you need to play behind all the sequence. The thing that I'm trying to teach here is the simplest way that you can stack shapes to find your way within the scale on the fretboard, using all the modes at once in your hands. Okay, so getting the disclaimer out of the way, I'm just talking about the simplest of the simple stuff. Now, some of you might have already memorized that the order of the modes are 1. Ionian, 2. Dorian, 3. Phrygian, 4. Lydian, 5. Mixolydian, 6. Aeolian, which is also the natural minor scale, which is also the relative minor to our major scale, Ionian, which is a mode, but it's considered a scale from the classical education and all that. Don't get confused, it is a mode, it's the sixth mode of the major scale. And Locrian is the seventh. Now, let's just mess with that order, or just remember, of course, you know, the number and the name, because they are the corresponding number and the name on the scale degree, I mean, which note comes to where. But let's, you know, mess a bit so we can fit it here and make it 5 Mixolydian, 1 Ionian, 4 Lydian, 7 Locrian, 3rd Phrygian, 6th, hey, still a 6th, Aeolian, and 2 Dorian. Got that? Great. If you don't get that, I'm not messing up my tongue again. Say that, just rewind the video. Now it's 5, 1, 4, 7, 3, 6, 2. That's the order of the modes that we are taking and stacking here. Now, if I begin from my Mixolydian mode, which is the 5th mode of the major scale, let's choose A Mixolydian. It is that thing here. I have, and using 3 notes per string system, then I have the following shapes stacked one below the other. And when I'm saying below, I'm not referring to frequency wise, because that's on top of each other. I'm talking geographically, you know, the placement. So the first will be a TT, second TT, third TT, total recall. And then I will have a ST, my Stratocaster, 2 times, and then I will have a Telecaster. And if I had a 7-string guitar, I would have another Telecaster, and then it would loop back to my first original shape. Let me just say that again. These, I have 7 shapes. I have 3 different shapes. I use them 7 times in a specific order. These times they loop. These 7 times they loop. just like the notes of the scale. If you say do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, they loop at some point, okay? They are climbing up the octaves, but they are looping, okay? You have that. It's the A again, A again, A again. I don't have another A available. But you get the point. They loop. So 3 shapes: TT, ST, and TT, ST, and TS. My TT, my Stratocaster, and my Telecaster. This is the order of them. I have 3 TTs. I have 2 Stratocasters and 2 Telecasters, if that may help you. So that would be my 7th string, another Telecaster. T, 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 S, T, S, T, T, S, T, S. And then would loop again the Mixolydian. But in there are all the modes. Check this out. This is my Mixolydian, as I said. This, below that, is the Ionian. A Mixolydian is the 5th mode of the D Ionian. Below that there is my Lydian. G Lydian is the 4th mode of the D Ionian. Locrian, Phrygian, and I'm running out of guitar. Aeolian, and no Dorian from my 6th string. But if I start everything off of A note on my E string, so I have 3 TTs, 2 Stratocasters, and a Telecaster for the Mixolydian. Then I have 2 TTs, 2 Stratocasters, and 2 Telecasters for my Ionian. Can you imagine that? Like, you know, flying on the screen. I don't have these editing skills, but can you imagine that TTs flying, Stratocasters and Telecasters? That would be fun. Then I have a TT, 2 Stratocasters, 2 Telecasters, and a TT again for my Lydian. And then I have 2 Stratocasters, 2 Telecasters, 2 TTs for my Locrian. And for my Phrygian, Stratocaster, Telecaster, Telecaster, TT, TT, TT. And then I have for my Aeolian, Telecaster, Telecaster, TT, 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 Stratocaster. And for my Dorian, which, you know, poor Dorian was left out in my last example, it would be Telecaster, TT, 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 Stratocaster, Stratocaster. Be careful of the jump on the G to B string. You just have to move it straight up. And that's it. That's how you stack the shapes of the major scale to create all the modes in one place. How will that help you? Well, probably if you can loop these shapes in your head and you know that order, then you can start off of any note and just, you know, go below and above that note, and you can play, you know, whatever mode you want in that specific place. For instance, if I choose with my eyes closed that note, which is a B, I don't know, and then I choose to play an ST here and a TS here. Okay, then I know there's another TS above that, downwards, and then a TT, and there's another ST above that and a TT above that. So, this is a C Lydian, which makes that a B Phrygian, which makes that an A Dorian, which makes that a G major. That's one way to figure it out. And then you know all the chords that can support that G major and that specific scale and that whatever. Where else would that help you besides playing every mode from every note in all over the fretboard? Well, you could try figuring out songs by ear, because you know, if you're listening to a song on a radio or whatever, YouTube, and you're trying to figure out which chords there are there and which phrases and licks, and you just, you know, trying by ear to match the sound that you're listening, and you find, for instance, that there is this thing that can be played over the song and doesn't sound dissonant, and it sounds like it fits, and you have two Telecasters here, then you know that you have two Stratocasters above that and two TTs above that. So you have an A major scale. But if that sounds minor, then you have to figure out which chords are in the major scale, and you have to start applying and trying these chords, you know, and you figure out by ear. You do not need tabs for that. How do you figure that out? Did I hear somebody asking that? Yes, I did, because I have big ears and I can hear from my YouTube fixed videos. If you have a major chord, a major scale, with the A major for instance, then your first, your fourth and your fifth degree, imagine this creating an angle, the Greek name gamma. Imagine this is the shape that a horse would follow on a chessboard. Okay, 1, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5 scale degrees create major chords. So in A major I have A major, D major, E major. Like 80% of the songs in the world, and then if you keep your eye on the root note, which is A, the second, the third, and the sixth, the exact same shape but inverted. You know, first, fourth, and fifth, second, third, and sixth are minor chords. So you have a B minor, you have a C sharp minor, and you have an F sharp minor. And you say, wait a minute, these are sixth. Yeah, but you have one more. This is the one, this is the seventh. A semitone flattened, a semitone behind. So this is also a minor chord, but it's a minor chord with a flattened fifth note. So this is a half diminished chord, which is a G sharp minor flat 5. That's what, when you're talking about three note chords, not four. You know, in 4 note chords you would add the seventh, but you know the basic stuff here. You know, major, minor, half diminished, the Locrian thing. Everybody knows and loves Locrian. Yeah. So that's it. I hope it helps somebody to, you know, get unstuck from this particular position of the A minor pentatonic, you know, that you've been playing for 35 years straight, or not. If you know somebody that teaches that stuff, please leave a link below, because I would really want to know their point of view. If you don't, then spread the word that I am an innovator and this idea belongs to me. I'm calling it shotgun and I'm patenting it right now. If you like the video, press like. If you didn't like, press dislike and write a comment why you didn't like that. And feel free to share, like, subscribe, you know, do whatever young people do. I actually have an 8-string guitar hanging here. I could use that for the video. Okay, for any questions, comments and whatever, just, you know, write them in the comments and I will try my best to answer everything. And if I cannot answer by typing something, I will make a new video if, you know, when I find the time. Have a great day. Bye bye.